What happens when a company leaks its own secret? You usually expect leaks to come from insiders or leakers on social media, right? But this time, Samsung beat them all by leaking its own upcoming phones through one of its apps. Yes, you heard that right. Samsung just revealed the names of the Galaxy Z Fold 7 and Galaxy Z Flip 7 without even saying a word publicly, and it's kind of hilarious how it happened. Let's rewind for a second. People have been talking for months about what Samsung's next foldable phones might be called. Of course, the most obvious guess was Fold 7 and Flip 7. But Samsung hadn't confirmed anything. No teasers, no posters, nothing official. But then, out of nowhere, the answer appeared inside Samsung's internet browser app. The leak happened in the beta version of the app, which is now available on the Galaxy Store. The description of the app includes the line for Fold 7 and Flip 7. That's it. That small line confirmed the names of Samsung's next foldable phones. This was first noticed by Galaxy Club, and guess what? The listing was still up at the time they reported it, but there's something interesting here. You won't even see this if you're using an older Samsung phone. You'd need to be on One UI 8, which is still in beta. Right now, it's only available for the Galaxy S25 series, so it's not a leak most users would have noticed, unless they were testing beta software. But now that people have spotted it, the news is out, and here's what this little mistake tells us. First, Samsung is definitely launching the Fold 7 and Flip 7. That might sound obvious, but this is the first time we've seen those names used officially, even if it wasn't on purpose. Second, this likely means that the rumored Fold Ultra might not be real after all. Earlier, Samsung teased something with the word Ultra, and many thought a more powerful version of the Fold could be coming. But this app listing doesn't mention anything like that. So for now, it looks like we're getting the regular Fold 7 and Flip 7, and maybe a fan edition model too, called the Flip 7 FE. Some reports have mentioned this lower-cost version might launch alongside the main models, and we're not done yet. There's also talk about Samsung working on a tri-folding phone, something that opens in two directions. It could be shown later this year, but only in a few markets like South Korea and China. As for the big launch, Samsung hasn't shared the date yet, but many reports say the Summer Unpacked event will happen in early July, maybe in New York City. That's where we'll likely see the Fold 7 and Flip 7 officially introduced. What makes this leak even more fun is that it's so simple. It's not some blurry photo. It's not from a leaker online. It's just Samsung's own app listing. The names as if it was no big deal, and honestly, it's kind of refreshing. These days, leaks are everywhere. But this one stands out because it came from the company itself, quietly sitting in the app description. So now we know the Fold 7 and Flip 7 are real, and they're coming soon. What are you hoping to see in these new foldables? Bigger displays? Better battery life? Cameras with more megapixels? Or maybe just a lower price? Leave your thoughts in the comments, and if you enjoy these short and simple updates, hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Samsung might be changing things up again, and if you're someone who cares about smartphone performance, this is something you'll want to pay attention to. A new report out of South Korea hints that the upcoming Galaxy S26 series could bring back a decision that users weren't exactly thrilled about in the past, using different processors depending on where you live. Right now, the Galaxy S25 series is praised for one key reason. Every model, in every region, runs on the same powerful Snapdragon 8 Gen 2 for Galaxy processor. That kind of consistency made things simple. No matter where you bought your phone, you knew it had top-tier performance. But that might change with the S26 lineup. The new report suggests that Samsung could go back to splitting its chip strategy, meaning some phones will run on Snapdragon and others on Samsung's own Exynos chip. The Galaxy S26 Ultra will likely continue using Snapdragon across all regions, but the regular Galaxy S26 and S26 Plus might not be as straightforward. If the leak is accurate, the United States, South Korea, China, and Japan would still get the Snapdragon version. Meanwhile, Europe and other global markets could receive the Exynos 2600 powered models. This isn't entirely surprising since Samsung did something similar with the Galaxy S24 series, where the Ultra had Snapdragon everywhere, while the standard models came with Exynos in select countries. That split wasn't very popular. Many users complained that the Exynos versions didn't perform as well. They were often slower, less efficient, and had issues with battery life and heat compared to their Snapdragon counterparts. That's why the Galaxy S25 series was such a welcome change. Finally, everyone got the same performance no matter the region. So, if Samsung goes back to a mixed chip setup for the S26, it could leave a lot of people disappointed. Of course, nothing is official yet. Samsung had originally planned to use the Exynos 2500 in the S25 series, but due to production problems, they had to drop that idea. If those issues are now fixed, the company might feel confident enough to bring the Exynos 2600 into next year's phones. But whether or not it matches up to Snapdragon's performance remains to be seen. At the same time, there's another big change happening in Samsung's foldable phone lineup. It looks like we'll be getting two versions of the Galaxy Z Flip 7 this year, a standard model and a more affordable Fan Edition, or FE. Both of these are expected to use Exynos chips, regardless of where they're sold. The FE version will likely run on the Exynos 2400, which was used in some Galaxy S24 models. The regular Flip 7 might be powered by the Exynos 2500, which never made it into the S25 lineup, but could be ready now. For people in markets like the US or China, where Snapdragon chips have always been the norm in premium phones, this could be disappointing. Many users trust Qualcomm's chips because they've consistently delivered faster speeds and better battery life. The idea of not getting a Snapdragon version at all may not sit well with everyone. On the other hand, the Galaxy Z Fold 7 is expected to stick with Snapdragon globally, just like the S25 Ultra. That's good news for anyone looking for a foldable with the best performance possible. The whole situation could end up being pretty confusing for buyers. Most people don't want to compare processors or check region-specific specs. They just want a reliable phone that performs well. And while Samsung's Exynos chips have definitely improved, there's still some hesitation when it comes to trusting them over Snapdragon. If Samsung really does go back to splitting its chips by region, it might create frustration among users who want consistent quality no matter where they are. It's still early, but this is something worth keeping an eye on. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more news on Samsung's upcoming phones and tech updates. It's expected to be lighter but still packed with power. If you're hoping for giant batteries like the 6,000 mAh ones seen in some Android phones, you might be disappointed. Apple doesn't go for huge battery numbers. Instead, it works on improving how the battery works with the phone's other parts. This year, all iPhone 17 models will use stacked battery technology. This type of battery is designed to take up less space, run cooler, and last longer. That means even without increasing the size, your phone could stay alive longer throughout the day. Another smart change has to do with repairs. Apple plans to use something called electric adhesive to hold the battery in place. Unlike older glue, this new adhesive responds to a small electric current and makes the battery easier to remove. That's good news if you ever need to replace your battery. It should be quicker, safer, and less messy for repair centers. Battery life will also get a solid boost from the chips used in these phones. The regular iPhone 17 and 17 Air will run on the A19 chip, while the Pro and Pro Max will use the A19 Pro. These chips might be built using either a 3nm or 2nm process. Smaller chips are more efficient, which means they can do more while using less power. That helps the battery last longer without needing to be recharged as often. Besides the chip, other parts are also being upgraded to use less energy. Apple is introducing a new display technology known as M14